Okay,
Hello,
so
welcome back to the Bodhi Showdown for our game 3 of the day. For our last game, we've got two of our probably more known faces around here. We've got Ben versus René, Buggy versus GY Law. And joining me today, we have Jaden.
hi
Uh,
guys, hi.
and Jaden is pretty fresh after doing very well in Paris for the very first Season 2 regional.
Yeah,
Both
I
of
was
us
pretty
being Buggy
lucky.
players.
Two buggy players unite. The question is, will the buggy overcome the green yellow law in this case? I'm interested to see.
We'll try and not be biased, but that will
It
be
is
hard,
it is hard. It is really hard.
especially when we're in a unfavored matchup like this. It's always nice to root for the underdog.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I just yesterday I coached like two guys from our Viennese locals because they are going to go with buggy for Manchester this weekend, and they needed some pointers for some matchups. And so I'm pretty well equipped to, I think, talk about this matchup right now.
Yeah, this is it is a pretty fun matchup. It is definitely winnable for the Buggy side here.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I will be very curious as to see the deck lists when they pop up.
Oh yeah.
See what tech cards we are running.
I mean, I think right now most of the buggy lists are pretty samey, apart from like I think 2 to 3 cards usually.
Yeah, there's kind of like a 43 card core at the moment in Buggy, with your 7 tech cards, which are kind of being
Yeah.
dominated by double Sables, double Grav Blade. Um, Personally, I'm running a double Mellow in there as well.
Yeah, no, you're a big fan of Mellow. I don't quite like that card as much, but it's a good card. I can see it. Yeah.
I've seen some interesting techs specifically for this matchup with Houndblaze and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I really like the Hound plays include not even specifically for that matchup, but in general because most people think they can calculate the buggy in the late game because they know how high he can swing. And the thing is, if you have that 1k extra, it comes as a surprise for most people, and that can get you very many wins that you otherwise wouldn't have gotten.
It is quite funny, especially when you get into these almost higher level games. People count the counter a lot more
Yeah.
carefully, and it's almost those against better players that you can catch off guard more. I've got the deck list confirmed here. We are actually on 3 Mellow and 2 Gravblade, no Sables, which
No
is a bit of.
Sables. Are there any 7 cost Doflamingos?
There's not, but there's 2 7 cost Crocs for consistency.
Okay, that is interesting, yeah. You don't see too many 7 cost Crocs nowadays.
No, I think a lot have been getting cut.
Is Ben at I'm just using you as the deck list guy right now. So is Ben on 2 or 3 7 cost chew buggies?
Just 3, which I
Which
think
is
is
fine,
the number.
absolutely fine. So I know we haven't talked a lot about the matchup until now. So I think
Yeah,
right about now is the time where the matchup really starts.
it is heating
Ben
up a
needed
little bit.
to go. Ben needed to go second in this matchup, so it's a little bit bad to start, but nothing he can't overcome normally as a buggy player.
Especially because he did get that nice Mihawk on for Don start.
Yeah. He searched with his first search. He got the 4 cost buggy, so that was quite nice.
I do always love keeping hands with like some of that Buggy Mihawk's combo plus searches.
Yeah,
And ooh,
that
haven't
is
resort to emoji here.
yeah
Feels a bit early.
that is quite bad. But it's a life emoji, so at
Yeah,
least there's that. He is a blocker,
he's
so that's
active
something.
already, which is nice. We don't actually have that many cards in hand. I think we've got 5 cards in hand after this resolves. So
Yeah. So do we know? Did he free block with the? He did free block with the Mihawk and got the Bonnie punish,
Unfortunately,
right?
he did get punished with that.
Yeah,
Bonnie.
that's one of the things I don't like to do against the green decks because I know they run the Bonnie, especially if I'm on the even curve as a buggy. You don't really need to go there because if he freezes it on from you, it's not that bad.
Although there is always the argument of it makes them play the Bonnie over the Cavendish, which could be seen as worse. So it is an
That
interesting
is
argument.
that is quite true, but one of the things that is, I mean, one of the things why I like to run the Sables as well is because normally into like green decks or half green decks, if you remove the first 5 costs they put down, you're in a very good spot. So that's why I mostly like running Sables.
I think especially with Sables normally comes up versus the green decks for bouncing for Tashigi as well, which it's not the Tashigi in the
Yeah,
case of GY Law, but it does a similar job against the
against the blocker. Yeah,
those
yeah.
annoying pesky
The
anti-removal effects.
I always at like 9 Don, I can't count the times how often I use like a Sables into a 10 cost buggy into green decks to get rid of something important because of getting rid of the Tashigi or the Capone Gang Beige and then getting rid of the actual target.
Always a lovely tempo swing.
Yeah,
Actually having that 10 cost do something.
yeah. Especially against green.
We did take 2 life here, which is
I actually kind of like it
I
because
do
it's a
like it
tempo
because
game. It's a tempo game. You need to play the tempo game with your opponent. I think. I think if Green Yellow Law tries to be tries to pressure you, which he most likely will, uh, more often than not, you I think need to take that life early and defend it late when your board is much more stable.
we do technically have 2 blockers on board already, so he's probably he not too worried about taking it, but knowing he's got the guaranteed blocker on board without having to pay
Yeah,
anything extra this turn. I think the only worry about taking is always that balance against obviously green of not getting absolutely ran over by
yeah.
Hody in the late game from those taking those early hits.
So one of the biggest problems in this matchup mostly is, as far as my experience goes, is that the green yellow law has just those massive hands down to the in the late game, and you just can't break that massive hand normally. So I really
Especially
like to
the massive
swing.
hand behind Kid.
Yeah, I do like to swing low to the ground over the course of the game to just get some over counter or like in this case some searchers out of hand. And one of the things that really wins you that game is a well placed pudding in the late game.
I was going to say, if you've got the pudding in hand, if you don't have the pudding in hand, then I do very much like the low swings. If you do have the pudding in hand, then you could maybe be a bit greedier, swinging big to try and force
Yeah,
them to take it and then pudding.
yeah, sure. It always depends on how you are going to develop your board further. So how much Don do you realistically have to spare? Which for Buggy mostly is not that many.
It's something -5.
Yeah, I like the aggression with the Mihawk there. I think it's
Yes,
the right call to like I said before, play the tempo game,
especially
give the
because you've
tempo
got
back.
the emoji on board, so you can
Yeah.
afford it a bit. It does look like he's going to be keeping 2 Don up here as well for
So now
Mellow
now
Mellow.
it's going to be now it's going to be really interesting if he plays another blocker down. Oh,
Oh, this is
oh,
very
this
nice.
one is nice. Yeah,
And also that does empty his hand a little bit to make that Mellow Mellow live as well.
yeah, I like it a lot.
This feels very
This board
strong here.
feels very good right now. Yeah, especially because there is no Cavendish or Big Boy on the other side right now. So
Got a
the
board
law
of
is
four
pretty much
7Ks.
René is pretty much forced in this turn to like heal a life. I think with a 7 cost law.
Or trying to play the Kid, I think.
Yeah, the kid would be a nice option. Think the 7 cost law all in all would be like more value, I think. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get it. Of course. Yeah. He's at 9 dons, so he cannot go ahead and get his leader effect off. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a little miffed why he didn't bounce
We do
his
have
searcher back.
this double protected, well, triple protected by blockers, including not being able to be removed by the 10 cost here.
Yeah, it is
Uh,
really a hard
uh,
board to break right now. Yeah.
we do have 4 base 7Ks, so we could potentially try and get a lot of pokes in. Although that hand size does look quite good for being.
The thing is, it is not really protected. That is one of the misconceptions
Mm.
that oftentimes gets thrown around. I think with the Capone gang beige, it's not a protection. It's more in this case, a Tenko's buggy is absolutely fine to just put
Yeah,
that kid into the life and make René play it again next turn.
I think a lot of people do. It is a fine balance of wanting to let them have that kid again. But even if they replay the kid here now, you've
I
now got
don't
a 12K
think
on
I don't
board.
think it's the right decision not to swing here. I think he should bombard René with some swings here.
Oh, you've got 4 7Ks on board.
Yeah, it's there is no way he does not start swinging like crazy. I mean, the
Oh,
Mihawks maybe one of the Mihawks should be still standing, but I don't. It depends on his hand. If he has enough counter, he doesn't need it.
well, we do always have to be careful of a potential Hody Jones.
Yeah, but a potential Hody Jones just screws him any which way. So it's not really something to consider. So maybe all swings are the best option in that case.
Wondering, this is an 8K swing. If it was into this, oh, I can't tell. I wasn't sure if that was into the Bonnie.
Yeah, I thought so as well, but
But 2 2Ks could have. We're not too sure about where that went.
yeah. Hmm. I do like the tempo that Ben is playing. It's exactly the right way to play that matchup.
But yes, you
Especially
can
because René
overwhelm
obviously
them.
did not see everything he needed to see in the mid game. A very cheeky little 6K swing, baiting the block, maybe.
Yep. Although I think you can very safely just take these 3 blocks there.
Does he have another 8-cost kit in hand? Or why didn't he take the life? That's the question I'm asking right now.
Would be curious as to what he
I
does.
mean, the 9 open don suggests that he does have a 8-cost kit in hand
Another
still.
kid, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because he chose to keep the beige blocker around as well, where you always want to keep that against in this matchup.
Yeah.
It's one of your key
Because
pieces.
one well placed gravity blade and the match is over.
Yeah. If Gravity Blade ever resolves against this deck,
That is a tempo loss that
that's
you're never going to get back. Yeah.
especially because they took a lot of life to often achieve that board state.
Yeah. Do we know how many cards in hand René has right now? I think it's like 6 or 7. Or am I overestimating his hand right now?
I think it was more 5 or 6,
Oh, interesting. Another swing with the blocker.
and that's quite a big Don investment here. I'm wondering.
10K swing to life. This is pretty big. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And he recycles it. Yeah. Yeah. I like the play. I really like the play.
It mm, it doesn't unfortunately do much to fix this situation of
No, the
September.
situation is screwed either way.
Unlike it
That
seemed like
board
he did
over
have,
there.
yeah, it seemed very limited options. But if that was an interesting play
Yeah.
with limited options.
So I like what is the play here for the buggy? How does he go about this? I think it's like 9-9, then the 12, then put all the rest on the blockers and go in, I guess. Oh, he
just
clears the board.
which I
Interesting.
guess you can play this slowly if you're the Buggy. We're pretty sure at this point that Ben's got the Mellow available.
Yeah, so
So
my
we
problem with that is, I think, I mean, I'm scarred, of course, but I always have the fear of the top deck Hody, and I do not want to give the green player the opportunity to top deck his Hody.
I think the thing is, Ben's in such a good position here that he can leave extra on up for
Yeah, I
playing
think so too.
around
Yeah,
Cody
yeah,
while still
that
putting
is
pressure
most
on.
likely. Yeah. So there are the 9 9s I talked about. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, that is.
Okay. 2K, 2K, 1K. There is the restand law that we knew about. Another 9. There is the block. Yeah. So now he just has the 2 Dawn open and the 2 blockers,
I
which
guess
makes sense because he fears the Hody as well. Yeah.
a Hody here could rest one Don and rest one blocker for very good
Yeah.
effect.
Most
But we are
likely
seeing
one
this
Dawn. Yeah.
I think.
We're going to game 2. That was really, really nicely played by Ben. I mean, we have to be fair. René really did not see the stuff he wanted to see.
Ben did not have that Mellow beam
He
that whole time.
just faked it. He just faked it till he made it.
Weirdly enough, he would have got it from the last life, which is
That
quite
is
amusing.
crazy.
But that is he not only faked it for one turn, he faked it for 2 turns in a row there.
Yeah, that is that is another interesting thing about Buggy. You have the option in most matchups to just fake stuff. I know I've like in our last bigger local event, I just left one Don open and just started telling my opponent if he knew about like Slave Arrow. and he was so distracted by that he really got to the point where he thought I had Slave Arrow in the deck.
To be fair, I mean, there was even a time when I was seeing some lists running Gum something's Cobra, the 1 cost. Like if
Yeah.
you have 3 or less cards, it becomes rad.
Yeah.
Which I very almost was tempted to put in instead of Mellow at one point, but I was swiftly reminded Mellow draw cards good.
Interestingly enough, I really thought about the Slave Arrow a lot because I started to put more puddings in the deck. And recycling a pudding is extremely valuable in many matchups.
I can see that being interesting on the more 4 pudding lists.
I think it would be fine with like 3 puddings in the deck and like 1 or 2 Slave Arrows. I think that's quite fine.
But that is sort of 2 unsearchable pieces you are looking for.
That is true, but that is not a problem that Buggy has because you
true.
do not need to search. You are filtering, yeah, except for in the Blackbeard matchup. There you are not filtering at all.
Crocodile Mihawk into Alvida, mulliganing your hand off every turn is very fun.
It is extremely fun. One of the reasons the deck just works right now. Practically the only reason. That Croc Hawk is the only reason that deck can perform as well as it does.
Both decks opening up here with a lot of searchers, which is very typical for both of these decks.
I just recently, like 4 weeks ago, realized, and I play Buggy since it came out, that I can search the event with the event. And I was a little disappointed in myself that it took that long.
This was weirdly I shamefully knew this because there was a theory crafted Nami build which ran a cross guild package purely because the event you had the 1 cost Gaudino which could search the event and then the event could search its own event.
Yeah.
It wasn't a very good package, but it was certainly a weird, funny thing you could do.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've done that in the last 2 weeks of regionals, and I don't think there's been a single person who hasn't gone, wait, you can do that?
Yeah, I had the same reactions.
But it's very useful in some matchups. The
Yeah, it
amount of
helps a lot.
times
If you don't see your pieces with your first or second search, it's really good to go deeper. You can just go deeper and get your pieces ready for the 5 dawn turn or the 6 dawn
especially
turn in that
on
case.
like that 3 dawn turn where you don't really care about putting pressure on, and you can just add cycle through from searcher to searcher to searcher just to maximize your 5 dawn turn. And oh, this is a
Oof, this
good
is a
start for
this
René.
is an this is the kind of board you just don't want to see.
Yeah, but
That's the board going second with Buggy that you don't want to see.
Ben almost slightly traumatized from last game. Didn't do the block with the Mihawk, and then the Cavendish did come out instead.
Yeah, but I think it's most of the time it's a good call. If you want to play the tempo game, and it seems like he's again trying to play the tempo game, it's the right call, so he can swing with the Mihawk this turn.
This is
And he's going to swing with the
we
Mihawk this turn, yeah.
got a 2K off of that 5K swing there.
That is nice. But that is most of the times that's just the case, because very rarely the especially on that board, if you see like he has like 2 searcher Luffy's on board and 1 kid killer searcher on board, I don't think he has the resources with 1Ks in hand to give a 1K in that spot.
No, that is true.
And they most of the time the green yellow law does not have it.
Their
The
1Ks
only
are all
the
cards
only
they
way
want to play.
Yeah, the only way where there is a 1K thrown for that attack is if he has a second Cavendish in hand, I think.
Yep, or maybe an extra searcher,
Maybe, yeah.
because you can always bounce searches
Yeah.
back and replay them.
Okay, so René seems to have the God curve here. Oof, this is harsh.
And while I don't hate having 2 Mihawks on board,
No, 2 Mihawks
Um,
are the best thing right now, I think.
having a Mihawk Quack into Avida may.
Taking the 6K swing there is a little bit ballsy, I think. I mean, he might not have the 2K, sure, but I think if he doesn't have the 2K, it would have been better to fake it and just free block there.
You know that you knew that the restand law was going to be there, and then that Cavendish is going to get you too many Don.
Yeah. So now that is like what, an 8? Yeah. So yeah, you're right. With the restand law, yeah, of course, sure. That was my mistake. I just forgot about it instantly. Put it in there, instantly forgotten.
It wouldn't even surprise me if René went 9 into one of the Mihawks here, or chose.
So Ben is on how many cards in hand right now? I think 5.
He's got 5.
Yeah.
If René has a Hody in hand, I'd quite like to go for life here, but if he doesn't, then going.
Yeah, I think it's quite telling. Whatever he does here is quite telling about his hand. Yeah. So that's an 8 to life. Okay.
If we're only swinging 8, then yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I
So
wonder
he's
what we're going
still,
to be digging for here.
interestingly enough, I think he still does not have the Hody. I'm just a feeling. I don't know.
There's always that speculation of if they don't have the Hody, do they want to play more searchers? Because then that's potentially bottom decking your Hody.
Yeah, of course, sure, yeah. I'm not quite sure if the safer swing for like 9 wouldn't have been better if he really has the Hody. Especially because he like played over 1 card he could have recycled next turn.
On in chat has noticed that René is not actually on the. I don't think it changes the matchup too much, but isn't actually on the new promo law in the list. I think that's just more of a consistency piece, so I don't think it changes the matchup too much.
Oh, you mean the promo law that we should have gotten like a year ago and still didn't really get?
Band-Aid.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's not the time or the place to discuss this, but one of the things that really came to mind, like yesterday, was it's nice that we are closing in on a release schedule where he gets rid of the protection piece.
Because that does potentially open up how much Dons we have left here.
It is really interesting.
Because we do have 7 Don left.
Yeah.
Which opens up to the Grav Blade. I do think that's a misplay. Just in case they do have the Grav Blade.
I mean, maybe he. Nah. I mean, he can't die in that spot normally, right?
No.
At least I don't think so.
Oh, and there it is.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels good, I think.
Depends whose side you're on for whether that feels good.
I'm sorry, I'm always on the side of the Buggy. In that case,
I am
especially.
too at heart.
Yeah, I just can't hide it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Clown Prince at heart. I can't do anything about it.
I was thinking this game was looking very favoured for René, but that does. It's still not a great position for Ben here.
No, definitely, yeah.
A Hody here still puts a lot of pressure on with like at least 2 9K swings plus a 7 9 swings.
I think even like splitting your Don in that spot to leader and the 7-cost law and just forcing the block and forcing the last life still is an option here.
If you've got a Hody in hand, then that's a very viable play to set up to push him onto 0 life. What other options could René have?
The thing is, I'm talking from the perspective of mind games here. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I would do that just to suggest to my opponent that I have the Hody, even if I don't.
I guess it depends how desperate René is. If his Wincon is bluffing a Hody, then
I don't think the thing is, if he just bluffs that, Ben like needs to go either for game next turn, which I don't think feasibly can right now.
no.
If he loses one blocker and the life, he needs to block her up, and he needs to block her up hard. Then I think, and I think both options are not really good. So. But yeah, René, as good as a start as he had, I think he's in a tough spot there. He's not quite sure how to handle this.
Which, I mean, the obvious power cards here would be either going wide with double 5 costs or playing another law into leader power.
That would be a good option as well, yeah.
The law into leader power while poking this 9K would be pretty nice. Especially if that leader power is sort of a
if it's a blocker law,
yeah, or even if it's a Bonnie to freeze that Mihawk would be rather punishing.
Yeah, you're right. So practically everything but the Cavendish and the restand law would be nice here. But it doesn't look like it, sadly. I think he does not have any of those.
Unfortunately, Benders does take that Mihawk block on the 9K.
That is an interesting decision. So I'm guessing that means he does not have the resources right now.
Or he has just a lot of bricks.
Yeah, that's what I meant with he does not have the resources.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the good thing for Ben is he is going to be going on to a 10 on. Okay, not so much now that the page is there, but
yeah,
going on to a 10 on turn with 2 bodies is always a scary spot to be passing 2 Buggy. Because while it does take out a lot of cards in the hand, they can always double leader power a double body into the 10 cost. However, that page does negate that effectiveness immediately.
Firstly, it negates that, and secondly, you just it feels just still rough if you get rid of like 4 cards from your hand as the buggy in that spot with 0 life and only 1 blocker, and
It
you
feels
just
good when you actually have a little bit of tempo to your name, or at least
yeah,
some life to take that. That was. I'm surprised that turn worked as well as it did, but it's
it was crazy good. Yeah.
very. That has worked very much to swing this game back around. So we are seeing our first leader power from Ben here, guarding a 10 cost.
So that's the spot where there really needs to be like a blocker body right now from the Croc Mihawk. Yeah, and there it is.
Do you have it? It's just what else
And
can he play here?
and now you just leader power another Mihawk out there, or you just pay another 4 for a third blocker, because if there is no third blocker, this is going to be hard.
Potentially looks like we're even leaving Don up for Mellow here.
Yeah, that could be
A
a
safe
thing.
Mellow from Hody. Like that.
Yeah, it's taking that last life, so that's no surprise in that spot. Yeah.
Because I think this is going to come down to this turn now.
Yeah, I
With
I think
all the
they
resources
both
you want,
know it.
especially because GY Law has so many like extra pieces they can use to extend lethals here. For Hody, the restand law, like getting as many options by taking that life is always nice. Even
Definitely.
I guess less so the Zeus because of Meek or Crocodile.
So there was the obligatory. Okay, what does the Moji do, and when does he do it?
Yes.
So clearly no Hody still, because I think the turn would go like a little faster if he had it.
Well, there is always a lot of options with Law
Yeah,
here,
I
with
know. Yeah.
bouncing something first and then playing the Hody.
Like green yellow law, interestingly enough, they always make the law leaders that way, because like red green law was the same way, where the pilot of the deck is the own deck's worst enemy.
Even RP Law was very much
Yeah, even
like
RP law. Yeah, I mean RP law was the worst enemy of the game designers. We know that, but it's the end boss of card design.
it was always a case of what is
Oh,
the
there is a
oh there
Hody.
it is.
Okay, yeah.
What will kill card design more? Nami for blue or RP Law for red and purple, lower than 4 costs?
Yeah.
And RP Law won that race.
Yeah, definitely. By a mile, I would suggest. So what does he rest? He rests both blockers. So that makes sense, because yeah, he
Is
knows
the
that is much more
correct?
that yeah, that is absolutely the correct thing to do in that case. Hmm. I mean,
Alright.
there's still some cards in the hand of Ben, so everything's possible. There's a 9k swing. That would be a good point to Mellow. Yeah, there it is. And
I
4
do love
cards in hand
doing that,
still.
doing a 1k then mellow to get that lower cards is always fun.
Yeah.
But
Oh, he does not have it.
enough. Have it.
So we are getting a game free, right? Yeah.
That would have been. I don't think even if he had all 2Ks, he would have enough there.
So the thing is, how many Don did he have left? Not none, right? So it was
We
like
had a 9K, a 7, and a
9k and a 6k, right?
oh, yeah, but the law had already swung.
Yeah. So
Actually, not
with
too bad.
all 2Ks,
It
he
was
with
doable,
one 1K and 3 2Ks, he would have won.
which is very pretty common for Buggy.
Which is not even that rare. Yeah, you can actually get there. Yeah. I mean, he did not filter that much in this game, so no Alvida came down. So I'm guessing it's much harder to get to that point.
Yeah, but the only filtering we really had in that game was the two Mihawks early game until late.
So now we're going to see a game where the Buggy actually does play his own curve. That's going to be interesting, I guess.
It is nice to see the best of three going to both curves. But I do think Ben has done very well on these even curves
Yeah.
with hitting four cost Mihawk both games. But going first curve is always solid. The curious thing I am always about is I've actually got a Buggy group chat, and one of the first messages I ever sent on it was, "Be careful about using searches on Free Don versus GY Law
Oh yeah.
because there are hands from GY Law where they can get the 5 cost Bonnie leader power on 4 Don, and if they lock your Don to deny your first leader power, the
Yeah.
game is over."
That is quite harsh if that happens. Yeah.
You get hit
That
by
sets you so far behind. It's
that's
not even
one of those
funny.
plays where you get hit by once and then you are not making that mistake since.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing with like a blue purple Luffy going like second, and you taking the life willy nilly, and then there just is a good old pudding, and you are just crying because you searched your perfect hand, and then you have nothing. You do that once and never again.
We go. Game 3. Starting off as Buggy always does with a searcher.
One of those searchers is always there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there is the first piece.
You hate to see a Buggy hand without a searcher.
Yeah.
Unless you've got all the pieces already. Even then, you still like to see a searcher.
Yeah. There is never enough searchers.
That is true. So we do see
René
the
starting off good as well.
Kid Killer,
Yes.
which is very nice for GY Law here, getting
Yeah,
2 Don worth
especially
of bodies out already.
yeah, especially because he just got the free cost Bonnie, and next turn he's at 4 Don. We are exactly in that spot where that you talked about, and that is the right call. He
That
goes for
is
the
the
8.
right call.
Nice one. He does know how to do it. In reality, he just did not have anything to play.
We'll have to see.
We need to ask Ben later.
I hope so. The only scary thing is what will come out of this very early lead. Of
Cavendish.
course, it's the Cavendish.
The Cavendish that we just never want to see, especially
And is
not
this going to be
on
a
that turn.
beige as well?
This is no.
Which actually
I'm
would
guessing
make sense.
I'm guessing the Kid Killer is going to search for the beige right now.
I think that's just our PTSD talking.
Yeah, pretty much. And there it is. Call me a wizard. I can tell you the future.
The Conqueror Hacky is strong with this one.
Yeah. Would have liked it to be stronger in my own games, but it's nice to have it sometimes. Oh, there was a Bonnie. There was a Bonnie. Good thing.
And there was a searcher, it looked like, from Ben discarding that Gaudino, unless he drew it for turn.
Yeah, perfect. Everything's working out just the way it should. I love that play. Just like I said in the coaching yesterday, one of those guys just said, "Yeah, it feels so bad playing the Croc Hawk into the 4 cost Mihawk." and I like said to them, yeah, it is not that bad. It feels bad in the moment, yeah, because you normally like draw 5 cards of that combo and filter them. But the thing is, 2 7K bodies on the board, which are like protected from everything, are so much tempo that
I
it's worth the extra card.
have to say, when I first saw the structure deck reveals, I called Forecast Buggy an absolute garbage card.
I hated that card. I hated that card for the
And
longest time. I hate it till today, but I know its value now.
you just get these games where you hit double 7K on 5 Don, and it, if your opponent does not see a good hand,
Yeah.
double 7K protected blocker with mulligan in your hand just is so good.
Oh, perfect trigger.
Ooh,
Yes. Yes,
that
yes, yes. I like to
lovely,
see it.
especially hitting it now, knowing that the beige is coming later.
Yeah, knowing the beige is in hand and not on the field is so much juicier.
I'm wondering if René could have potentially played around that.
I'm not quite sure. That's what I thought. I think he wanted to like do a little combo shenanigans.
You may have wanted to do like a restand
Yeah,
law thing. We
to
won't know until
maximize his don for the turn would have made sense. Yeah,
whiffing the leader power here is a huge shift in tempo back.
atrocious. That is atrocious. That is not
But
not good in
it
any way. Yeah.
does make me smile. In
So
my
now
late
we're discarding
regional,
the pudding.
I did get punished by a blind fire Cavendish off leader power,
Yeah.
and then that gave him the 2 Don to play beige.
Oof.
So it is lovely to see that GY Laws with that.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a salty in this matchup at all.
No, no, never. Never salty.
See the law being used to block the first one here.
Yeah, I was on the receiving end of a blind leader ability into a 5 cost Bonnie today as well, and I did not like it. That was just not okay.
I wonder if we are going to be seeing the Mihawk blocker swing here as well. And
I
I,
would recommend it
I
in
definitely
this
would
spot.
that he's
Yeah,
taken this first life, because that's going to
yeah,
be putting a lot of pressure on him.
and it makes no sense to leave it standing there. I think
Especially
because
because we played a blocker off of
yeah,
the Mihawk. I think that's generally my rule of
yeah,
if
yeah.
if you've got another blocker just played, swing without Mihawk.
You're
He
like
is
triple protected at that point. So why
like,
even?
it's not like that Mihawk is going to block for the 7K body. You've got a lot of life, so you don't even mind taking the life here. I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
don't
BenC's
think
got
so.
too many cards in hand, so taking a life would be good here.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think the. I mean, it's game 3. You are always a little more on edge in game 3. It's just a fact.
Yeah,
You
you're
sometimes
always going to play
not,
more defensively.
yeah,
Um,
even if it's not necessary.
we do see the beige being, well, one was beige being added here, so René could potentially get an optimal leader power off.
One of the myriad of 2Ks that deck runs and always has in hand. Gotta say, I think like the playing decisions of René in this matchup were really interesting up till now. So he really shows what mastery of green yellow law really can do for you if you know the deck and if you know what you want to do. He makes some turns that are not optimal look like they are the best play ever. Just need
Yeah.
to say that at that point.
But I do think he got lucky on game 2 with
Yeah,
pitching that beige into Grav Blade.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
But he did recover well from it, so
Yeah.
that is the important thing. We are going to see the leader power out here. He did choose the blind fire the leader power here, and whiff once again.
Interesting.
It's just going for a
Ah.
full defensive play here.
So I really I could not resist the gravity blade in that spot just because it hits 2 targets.
Yeah.
For once in my life, I want to remove 2 targets from that board.
And to be fair, Gravity Blade plus
Gravity blade would be nice here.
7 wouldn't be bad.
I think you can reasonably like
Even.
gravity blade 777 here. I think
Well,
it's fine.
I guess you could do a 8 on the third one.
Maybe, yeah. Hard to say how many cards Ben has in his hand right now.
I guess
Not
the
quite sure.
only worry
Oh,
would
that's
be
that's
that is more than I thought.
yeah.
Because otherwise, I would say a Hody with Cavendish is a very strong clapback here.
Yeah. This is
I
okay.
really
Yeah.
don't. I really do like this as well because. Oh, okay. I was
That
surprised
is
he hit.
that is interesting. I like it. I like it a lot.
I was thinking that was going to come down onto one of the pages.
No, I think it makes total sense to just deny the value of the Cavendish in the next turn. I like the idea behind it.
We're still posturing for a second leader power here with swinging
No,
another
I
7.
don't think. No, he can't do a second leader power. He's only at 9 Dawn.
Up. Yep, we are on that curve. For some reason, I thought we were on even curve.
Yeah, it was so many games that we just don't know Buggy without 10 Dawn.
um, I am then slightly surprised that we didn't maybe go into the lore.
I know what you mean, but I don't think it's.
I don't hate it. I'm
I think
curious
it's
to
not
see what he's going to
necessary.
do this.
It's better to go into the leader in that spot than into the law because the law is more easily defended with counter than the leader, and either way you want to get the maximum of amount of counter or life or blockers out of him. So that's the thing, and I think swinging to the leader is like always better there.
And actually, I do like this because we're still playing around some
Hody, yeah.
Hody by leaving 3 on up. While now we've established the big 12k beta, which even puts a lot of pressure. I mean, less pressure now onto like a 8 kid trying to recovery turn because we've got triple blocker already set up.
Yeah.
But even still, that is one guaranteed blocker gone. Plus, we just have so many 7k here.
Yeah, the first 2 double plays were really potent in this game. So, like we said, the Croc Mihawk into the 4-cost Buggy into the Mihawk was really the thing that kicked this game off into high gear.
Yeah, it just puts so much pressure being able to use that Mihawk as a early offensive piece.
I mean, the only thing was like that he did not swing with the Mihawk in the second to last turn, I think.
Yes.
That was the only slight mistake up until now. Apart from that, it was premium Buggy gameplay.
I do like just using shotgunning the mellow on the 6k swing here just to so we can cycle through our deck for the next.
Because we know we really want to use our Dawn now when we have it because we don't know if we have the option to leave up the Dawn in the next turn.
I would be curious as to what René's hand count is. Looks quite chunky.
Yeah, I'm guessing that should be like 10 cards, maybe 11. If my Nami skills tell me anything, that should be like 11.
Which will make.
So I think Ben should take
his
last. Ben should maybe take his last Dawn before he starts his turn.
That is always a healthy start to turn.
Yeah,
I do think.
I'm going. I'm guessing he's going to realize it sooner than later.
Yeah,
but
hopefully so. We've now seen that 10-cost Buggy being added.
Oh, now he's counting and he realizes, oh, there is a Dawn missing.
we could just see that 10 cost Buggy being played here just to get rid of
Yeah.
that kid, which is huge boost.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the things we talked about, like getting rid of the kit just to put it in life. It's always
It
fine in
feels
that spot. Still,
so
it's
nice,
huge tempo. Huge tempo.
especially when they have got such a big hand like that. You just cannot be afford to be swinging into 8 rather than a 5.
No, that's just unnecessary.
I low-key wouldn't hate here going after the law with certainly with the 12k.
I understand what you mean. I think that is a good call. Yeah.
I do think we are just going to eat it up with
Right now, just keeping the board small is maybe the best option. Yeah.
just limiting the damage of a Hody comeback.
Yeah.
And
I think if he just clears the board right here, it should be game.
yeah, it will be with two 12ks on board.
Yeah.
And also, you are, while you don't really mind for adding that kid back, it is nice knowledge knowing they're not going to be playing that down immediately.
Yeah.
You also have a little bit of comfort knowing that that last life, when you do go for the lethal on the following turn, is going to be a brick. Ooh.
Ooh, all the 1Ks in the world. You like to see it.
The stream title does do justice with René's abusive relationship with Law.
So now it's the question: what's the best
can
play
he
here?
do here?
Yeah. I mean, the two 12k bodies on board are going to end this game sooner rather than later. So, what can
I
you do?
don't think there's any. I mean, just blockering up is just gonna. Buggy's got 2 health here. Just
Yeah.
blockering up, you're just gonna lose your board, and Buggy will very happily drag the game out while they're sitting
You,
with.
you cannot swing with your doesn't even he isn't even able to swing with his board because those are 2 blockers that he's going to need.
Yeah, he has to. Oh, he has to either hope he's got a restand or a rush and try to.
Interestingly
it,
enough, I'm again I'm not really sure why he gave the 2 cost Capone over the Bonnie in the last turn as a blocker.
Yes, because we do. I'll just go see a Hail Mary for game here.
Yeah. So 2 cards in hand, it's reasonable.
I
It's
guess the
reasonable to do this.
Bonnie acts as a stronger beater if
Yeah,
Ready
she can attack. Yeah.
was holding that Hody in hand, ready to go for a lethal here.
Then this all makes much more sense. If he has the Hody, this makes much more sense. Yeah.
And to be fair, Ben I think only has 2 cards in hand.
He has only 2 cards in hand. Yeah, and the 6k will tell René a lot about what is in hand.
Although,
Okay.
normally
Okay.
Buggy in by this point
So
is
either he
normally
does not
always
have
2Ks.
so either he does not have anything, or he knows he has it and can take it easily.
I don't think, even if it was double 2Ks,
2k, 1k, okay. Then a 5. And there it is. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Oof.
I was
That is
worried for a second there, but we did get through.
really,
I mean-
really well played by both. Crazy well played. Like I said, the green yellow law plays by René were really interesting to see. I mean, I always like it when Buggy wins. So
we always like to see a underdog win in a matchup, especially when we're in these higher level games.
Yeah,
and it just shows that while the percentages can be small, there are still percentages.
yeah. The thing is, Buggy is just one of those decks. Buggy can just drag out games like crazy and just win in the end game. That is something I really needed to learn with the deck early on. that you don't need to often. You can start with tempo, and you can slow it down at some point. You can slow down the games and start controlling.
I think that's definitely where we've seen these builds with Love Love Mellow being
Yeah.
more and more involved. It's just we're going. Yes, my win con is playing 10 costs
Yeah.
and just whittling you down. When you have such a wide board and such big characters, you do not need to rush the game, especially when you can play. You can hit really good numbers and play a
Mhm.
blocker per turn. And if that blocker's emoji or you've got Mellow Mellow, you're still
Yeah.
not even losing cards in hand.